Welcome to the City of Trinidad Planning and Zoning and Variance Commission regular meeting agenda, June 11th, 2024. Everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Moderano,
Yes.
Armijo,
Present.
Spade, Coker,
Here.
Rollo, here. Norris,
Here.
Leone.
Any public comments?
Is that me?
Yes.
Yes.
Great.
Please step right up. State your name, please. To the short desk.
Yeah. It's not tall enough, just press them up and down there. you go.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Melissa Toring. I am the project manager for the memorial statue for Ms. Kathy Williams project. And I was on the agenda last month, but I didn't hear you guys call my name. So I am appreciative of an opportunity to come again and speak with you. Hopefully you've received the PowerPoint presentation that I had intended to present that day. And since that's already in your inboxes, I won't worry about trying to get it up on a screen and show you all. The gist of it is that there is a desire in the community to recognize the historic figure of Ms. Kathy Williams, or Private William Kathy, as she was known when she was in the U.S. Colored Troops and then eventually into the Buffalo Soldiers. Kathy was known to live here in Trinidad, and we'd like to see a representation of her here in our community. You may see these posters up around town. This has information, very summary information about the character that we're talking about. There's a QR code on the bottom of this poster. That'll take you to the GoFundMe page, which is where we are doing some, but not all of our fundraising. I also have some printed ones for y'all, and so you don't just have to rely on the email that I sent to you last month. So I'll have these available to you. We also are asking for letters of support from community members. According to the last 4 commission presentations I've made, evidently our commission bylaws do not allow for commissioners or the board to make recommendations or letters of support. So I ask you to consider this as a personal interest. If you're interested in supporting the program, we have pre-filled letters that demonstrate a general interest in the project that you can sign and or share with others in your community. Today I'm here to tell you about the project, to answer any questions that you might have, having heard about it through the grapevine or fundraising events that we've had, or perhaps even some of the news articles and interviews that have been on the radio. A couple of facts about the project is that local rascal, Haskell Hooks, as the visionary for this project, he came to know Kathy back in 2015 through his work with the Buffalo Soldiers and their reenactment and portrayals of the Buffalo Soldiers through the Indian War years following the Civil War. And he was astounded to learn that a woman who was a daughter of a slave woman and a free man managed to get herself employed with the U.S. military when a time when women were absolutely not welcome in the field, whether it was combat, artillery, cavalry, or any other form other than washer, seamstress, and cook. He was just really taken by Kathy and has really dug into learning more about this character. And many other people have also made efforts to learn more about Kathy, but the fact is that she lived in the late 1800s, and there just isn't a lot of written material. She had one known published interview with a newspaper person who may or may not have spoken all of the truth. We don't know a whole lot, but we do know that we do have her enlistment papers We do have her discharge papers, and we do have what we believe is a pretty good indication that she lived here in Trinidad at about Second and Animas when there were boarding houses there, and she most likely, based on general guess of what a person of her time would be doing then, she was probably working as a seamstress, cook, and laundress for the contractors who were building the bell block and those series of buildings. Haskell's worked with the Fabric, Bob and Rosemary Fabric to identify the front of the bell block as the place for the statue. It will be a life-size statue in full military garb appropriate to the Buffalo Soldiers of that era. And we have an estimated cost for the project of $100,000. That includes my work of managing the project, that includes getting the construction done, that includes having a gala kind of ribbon cutting outside of the bell block at the statue's unveiling, which we have scheduled for November 15th, 2026. That also includes the building permit that we already know that we're going to need to pull thanks to Nick's research, and any of the reporting, financial accounting, all that stuff that we'll need to do in order to complete this project. One of the founding efforts that Haskell took to get this project going was to create a 501c1. That is one of the types of tax exempt organizations allowed in the United States under the IRS code. The 501c1 is allowed to do fundraising, but does not have the administrative burden of a full board or long-term operation and maintenance plans. It's very suited to this project. We're organized specifically to attack a specific project to get it completed and then to wrap it up. So we get that question a lot. What's your 501c3? We don't have a 501c3. We are a 501c1 in case that comes up. We are in works with History Colorado to establish a relationship between our 501c1 and their 501c3. That is important to us because that allows us to get some of the larger funds of it that might be available through grants or low interest loans, which is not our preference. We would like to get 100% grant and fundraising to accomplish the project. That $100,000 breaks down into approximately $20,000 for all of the administrative management expenses and $85,000, which could be as least as $65,000. We put a jump in there because we knew we had a 4-year construction plan. You never know about construction costs and inflation. So we're looking at a break of about 80-20, put it that way, on the actual erection, design, creation, artist costs, and then getting the project done. So you may have noticed that the date 11/15/2026 is special. 2026 is the 150th year anniversary for Colorado and the 250th year anniversary for the United States. There will be a lot of celebrations going on that year. November 15th happens to be the day that Cathay enlisted in 1866. So we're at 160 years from her enlistment. So we're really excited about the timing and the way that all lines up. So we are interested in partnering with any of the other groups in the community who might have interest in this project, might have criteria they'd like us to consider in including in our project criteria, or who might have some concerns. We'd like to make sure that we know all of the factors, all the possible factors. There's always something that sneaks up on you. All the possible factors ahead of time, and we have enough time with this project to do that. I have lots more information, but I'll pause there. I think that's probably my full 5 minutes anyway. Do you have any questions or comments, or would you like to share with me your stories about Cathay Williams?
I think I just have a general question.
You can ask
We
questions,
cannot?
not in public comment.
Okay, nope.
Sorry.
Oh, I shouldn't have asked. I withdraw my request, but I do care.
I thank you for your time.
Okay. So again, I'm not asking for a signature of public support. I'm not asking for the board to prove anything, simply information and an opportunity for you to learn more by reaching out. May I leave these?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
My contact information is included and I can take questions anytime.
If the commission has any questions, they can ask Nick, and then Nick could provide them at the next meeting or something.
As a citizen, can we give them money or do anything to help them?
I'd have to look into that. I think so.
so.
I don't
As a
see-
citizen, not as a board member.
As
Yeah.
a citizen, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think
Okay.
there's anything wrong with
Okay.
that.
This is kind
Because
of
we're
a
not
different kind of-
voting on anything.
Right, this
Yeah.
is a kind of different.
Although we can't ask the question, the 501c3 that was affiliated with the 501c1 was, that's my question.
History Colorado.
Okay.
History Colorado is the 501c3 that we're planning on partnering with. We're still working on all the paperwork. They did act as the fiscal agent for the Bar NI branch funding that we received last year. And so we're hoping that they'll continue to act in that lieu, but more towards the $80,000 funding opportunity. The other commissioners have also said that though they can't as a commissioner, they can as individuals. So I think that does fall in line with the other commissions' experiences. Thank you.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes, May 14th, 2024. I get a motion?
I move that we approval.
I'll second
Roll call?
it. Monterano,
Yes.
Armijo,
Yes.
Coker,
Yes.
Rolo,
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Any old business? I don't think so, none.
I'd like to just mention one thing. That apartment building down there on Oak and 7th Street. The new one that just went up. When are they gonna put the curb and gutter in that thing?
Section. When you get to the report section.
Pardon me?
When you get to the report section,
Oh, yeah.
Tony, you can.
Okay, when we get to chairman's reports, sorry. Okay, so we have no public hearing, so close the meeting, go to reports, correct? Close meeting. All right, now chairman's reports. Tony?
I'm just wondering, 'cause, you know, this rain starts up,
I know.
gonna wash that whole thing out.
So I honestly wasn't here, but I looked back and they didn't require curb and gutter for that project.
Well, the way I understand,
How could they not?
Now, we've encouraged the property owner to do it. And I think he's gonna work with, the engineering department on some of the funding for that as well, because it's still private property, so he could get some funding for sidewalk and stuff like that. But yeah, so he has, cause he sees the same issue you do, is once the rains start, that thing's gonna get flooded out, so.
well,
Thought
When they
everybody's
first built
required to
that-
have Curb and gutter.
when they first built it, the reason why they didn't put it in while they were building. The board, I wasn't on the board then, but the board had said that they had allowed him, that when they get the first tenant in, they had 6 months to put it in.
I can look into that. That's, if that's in there, then, yeah, we can definitely hold him to it. I know he's, cause he has other projects in town. I do talk to him quite a bit. He said he wants to do it anyway because he sees the need for it, so.
Wouldn't that should fall within our code for when they're doing plan review, because there should be erosion control, all that stuff should be a part when in the building, when it's being reviewed, so to speak.
Yeah, it was, like I said, I don't know who along the lines, but someone waived it along the lines of.
Now Sonny was on the board at that time.
But if,
It was already zoned high density residential, so probably didn't even come before.
No, I don't think that came, because when did that come to the board?
It probably didn't, because
Well, that's many, many moons ago.
For the place that just went up on 7th and Oak?
it wouldn't have had to if it was a use by right.
I'll take a look at it. If that's the case, then we could kind of force him or hold him to it. He has tenants, so he has to do it, or, but if not, like I said, he's planning on it just because he sees the need, just like you said, it gets flooded over there if he
I'll
doesn't
tell
have
you
anything.
what, if a cloud burst comes through there, it's gonna wipe it out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so I think he sees that too. And it's just, I mean, I know as long as I'm gonna be in this position, people will be putting in curb and gutter sidewalk as long as they have to. they'll be
Well, I
doing it.
think, I mean, in theory, when I look back at codes, and I work in many, many jurisdictions, and when I look at codes, that's all part of the process, you know, right up front, you know, that's what your erosion control, you know, you have to show a plan of how you're gonna divert water, how you're gonna do
Oh, yeah.
this, how you're gonna do that, while you're under construction, yada, yada, yada,
Mhm.
you know. Does our building department actually take all them steps?
Yeah, oh yeah, so if someone comes in with this, even if it didn't come to planning commission, that project, and I don't know if it did.
It did.
It did, okay. But before that, once planning commission, approves it, they'll go to building code, or they'll get their building permit, and their building permits, it gets reviewed by utilities, one, and then it gets reviewed by the planning department, public works, and that's usually the person that comes in and says, hey, you gotta do sidewalk and curb and gutter in here. But like I said, I don't know, because the project the paperwork on that project started quite a while ago, so I really don't know. And it's something I could definitely look up. The paperwork's down in my office, I just have to, it'd be effective digging it up and.
It's definitely, it's gonna cause a problem, I know that.
Yeah, and I'll talk to the property owner as well and ask him when he plans on, but I know he's expressed it, so.
Any other chairman reports?
This, while we're on sidewalks, the sidewalks going on San Juan that they have just completed, you can get all the way down to Central Park on San Juan. It's amazing. Hey!
I guess I have to say, I mean, want to commend the city on what they did with Santa Fe Trails. You know, they came in and set it all up, all with, you know, some minor hiccups along the way, but I think overall the city did a good job on putting that all together. And the cleanup was fast and furious and back to normal life pretty quickly on Sunday, so, you know, we definitely owe a round of applause to all the city staff, city employees, road bridge, all them guys did a really tremendous job out there, so.
And the notification in that, sending that flyer in the electric bill, I thought was also a good way to get the word out and probably helped with the whole well-run affair.
I will say, I think they need to think about more covering, because there was no covering, and I know we always get rain at this time of the year. I just wonder how it went, because I didn't go down there when the bands were playing more like after hours, you know, how did that play?
The music stopped
Yeah.
when the rain started.
Yeah,
I
how
could
did
hear the music from my porch, I'm like, oh, yeah, there's taking
How does that play a factor, so, again, you know, but other than that, it was a good turnout, and they did a great job, so. Planning director report?
I'll get something on the Timberview Apartments over there, and I guess I talked to him quite a bit, he has other projects in town, so, I'll ask him where he landed on that. I know he expressed it, so. And then just give you guys some updates. The Love's annexation is on track, so it's going to council next Tuesday, and then in the first week of July. The land use code, that's going to council, all our formal recommendations. That's going to council June 18th and the first week of July. And then just some of the other hanging projects out there. So I know the Opera House, they're working with Tura to upgrade their facade. So that's still in the works. They're meeting on Thursday. So I don't, actually, our meetings were inside of their meetings, so I don't have really an update on that one, if they've gotten anywhere. And then I've reached out to Circle K, which is the landowner over at the frontier. They, like I said, they've had some stop signs from permitting wise, but I just reached out and said, hey, if there's anything the city can do, we want that building knocked down. So that's, I know they struggle with the idea of knocking it down without having a project to put right there, so, but I keep letting them know, we really want the building down, so I stay on that one as much as I can. And then, I just appreciate you guys coming for the training, so.
I thank you for getting organized.
Yeah, I do have one question. I mean, there's, okay, Loves, yay, Circle K, yay. I keep hearing talks of Maverick. Is that a dead soldier, or is there still talks of like that?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, they have a conditional use permit in town. Yes, they have a conditional use permit in county, so I don't, as far as, and they have a agreement to get utilities from the city. Those are in place, but.
They were in line for Circle K before Circle K and then
Yes.
backed out because they couldn't get that piece, okay?
I have a lot more questions, but we're
Yeah, thank you, yeah, thank you.
What do you got? Des, what do you got? None?
Got nothing.
Okay. Any motion to adjourn?
The second motion. Thank you.
Is that it? That's it?
That's it.
Oh.